Hello, this is Stratty, and today I'm going to be showing you how to run the heist jewelry store without raising the alarm. First, let's have a look at the required skills. To do this, there is going to be a couple of things you need to have. First, you need to ace the cable guy skill. If you are playing co-op, if you have two people ace this skill, it is possible to have a run of this job without killing a single person. Cable guy is the only skill that you will actually need to complete the job. However, Dominator can be extremely useful in clearing out the store area of the jewelry store. It will make that part a whole lot easier by making guards and civilians both get down. This also helps when killing guards around the back because you will not have to answer their pages. There are also a few skills in the ghost tree that will be helpful, but they are really not worth mentioning, as the only ones that will provide good bonuses are the movement speed buffs. Your loadout isn't that important on this run. Your primary weapon will not matter at all, so take whatever gives you the lowest visibility. Your secondary is the only really thing that is important in this build. If you are playing solo, you are going to need a suppressor to take out the extra civilians. However, if you are playing co-op and have over 20 cable ties, this isn't an issue. As for armor, take the suit. You are not going to be spotted, so taking anything else is pointless. For equipment, if you have the ECM jammer, I recommend you take it. However, it is not needed and I don't personally use it myself. The first thing you want to do when you spawn in is to see if the hot dog stand has spawned. If you are playing solo, I would recommend restarting if the hot dog stand does spawn. If you are playing co-op, the heist is still very doable. Have one person follow the strategy shown in the rest of the video, and when you are about to breach into the main store, you want to have the other player come to where I am standing right now. Make sure there is no one coming from behind you and put on the mask nearby the tree. Then shoot or dominate two cops and tell all the civilians to get down. The cops do not have pages, so you do not need to worry about that. You want to make this player then cable tie all of the civilians to make sure that no one calls the cops. You then want to keep a lookout for the red exclamation points to see if anyone else shows up on the street. If they do, just cable tie them before they can call the cops.
Don't get any ideas. Stay. Get down on the ground.
After checking to see if there is no hot dog stand, the first thing you want to do is to see if the guard is in the front of the store. On Overkill there is normally 3 guards in this heist. 2 are usually round the back, and 1 is doing constant patrol around the shop and then into the back offices. Next thing you want to do is head round the back. You want to take note if there is a woman by this dumpster. She can sometimes spawn, and she will spot you when you're moving the bags out to the van. So if she is there, you want to cable tie her after dealing with the 2 officers round the back. Also, one thing to note is if the fence is locked, just follow similar steps but on the other side. The next step is to see how many people are in this back office. There can be up to 3 people in here, as well as the guard that is patrolling the inside. Sometimes there can be a container here that blocks the windows. If this is the case, just ignore this step. After this, you want to take out the 2 guards around the back. If you do not have the Dominator skill, you will need to either melee them or shoot them, and then don't forget to answer their pages if you don't have the Dominator perk. Next, you want to go inside. If the container was not over the window, I recommend that you go in from the side that I show. Also, once you're inside, you do not want to sprint, as this will alert the people inside the main shop. You then want to break away the furthest away window, and then go in through this window and tell everyone that's in this room to get down on the ground. One thing to note is that the guard can come in this room if he is on his patrol. If there is no one in the room opposite, you can then safely cable tie any civilians in this room, and then it should be safe to nick all of the jewellery inside the display cases without setting off anyone in the main room. You want to be careful when crossing the hallway, as sometimes a civilian or a guard may be inside it. Sometimes the safe will spawn in this room. You can, if you want, safely place the drill down at this point and wait for it to open. However, sometimes a civilian and a guard may come through, as shown in this clip. I, however, will not be grabbing the contents of the safe, as I think it just takes too long. Next, you want to actually make it into the main store. The longer you can go in this store undetected, the better. You want to try and make it near the middle of the store, but still in a place where you can kneel down if need be. Next, stand up and get all of the civilians in the store to lay down on the ground. If you have an ECM jammer, after they're all laid down will be the time to place it. Next, you want to cable tie all of the civilians in the store. However, you want to stay on the lookout for any more red exclamation points that could appear on screen.
Stay still.
If this happens, you want to immediately run outside and tell them to get
Don't
down. If you are
All
playing
of you
solo, you
down
will not
on
have
the
enough
ground.
cable
Quiet.
ties to be able to
Get
restrain
down
them.
on the ground.
Because of this, you will need to kill them. This makes running solo not a good idea if you are trying to gain more money. However, if you are playing co-op, just have someone
Stay
restrain them and
down.
keep watch.
Stay.
After everyone in the store has been restrained, you want to start looting the store. This involves collecting all of the jewellery and packing up all of the jewels that you need to take into the van. I would recommend fully looting the store before you start putting the bags in the back of the van. While looting the store, you want to keep an eye out for red exclamation points that can appear on your screen. Civilians can still spawn and will walk down the streets. They may spot your dead or restrained civilians and try to call the police. If this happens, just quickly run outside and either kill them or restrain them like last time, and then return to looting the store. After all the bags are packed up, just move them across and put them in the van one by one. After you have all of the bags you want, just get in the van and escape. This strategy is more effective in co-op, however it can still perfectly be run solo. However, one thing to note is if you do run it solo, you may end up losing more money than you actually gain due to having to kill some civilians. And therefore you will only gain experience points. So you have everything, just get in the van and be done with the heist.